Call to order the joint meeting of the San Juan, Joaquin Hills, and the Foothill Eastern Transportation Corridors. I'm sure we'll have other directors coming in as they arrive or not. So, Mr. Piotr, will you lead us in the invocation, and Director Foley, the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I had a nice quote here from, believe it or not, Truman, who, if I can find it, maybe I won't have it. But he calls for a national day of prayer, and he had the privilege of ending or being present when the World War II ended. So in that light, join me. God, thank you for the opportunity to be together here to share in the public servant responsibility of trying to lead our community, our county, and our transportation services. We ask that you give us the wisdom that we need to make decisions for the benefit of all of the citizens in the county. And we ask these in Jesus' name. Amen.
Face the flag and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. For a minute or so, I thought that was a clown car back there as all the directors were emptying out and taking their seats. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Chair Chun.
Here.
Vice Chair Caruth.
Here.
Director Foley. Director Hack. Director Miniger.
Present.
Director Piotr.
Here.
Director Viksorek.
Here.
Director Beal.
Here.
Director Wong. Director Mueller. Director Murphy. Director Puckett.
Here.
Director Voights.
Here.
Alternate Moreno. Alternate Kring, sorry. Alternate Bilodeau.
Present.
Chair Sachs.
Here.
Vice Chair Shea. Director Bartlett. Here. Director Marriott.
Present.
Director Spitzer. Director Tinajero. Director Ward. We have quorum on both.
Thank you. So at this time, we will entertain public comments. The public may address the boards regarding any items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the boards, but no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person, and based on the number of people that wish to speak, I'll have to make a decision at some point, but it's my intention to let all people speak, at least based on the numbers that I've got here. It looks very doable. But once we start getting past 30 minutes or so total, or actually we'll go a little farther, we'll go to about 45 minutes or so, but after we get to that point, I may determine that we will need to hear the rest of the public comments before we close the meeting. So I'll call the first person up is Jennifer Powers, and Jennifer will be followed by Sam Sumitani.
Good morning. Do I need to keep my own time?
Nope.
Okay. Honorable members of the TCA Board, good morning. My name is Jennifer Powers, and I've been a resident of Ladera Ranch for almost a decade and have lived in South Orange County for almost 4. We moved to Ladera Ranch to buy a home and start our family. Now we have 2 young children and are living the life we've always worked so hard and dreamed of. My purpose in coming to today's meeting is to talk about the several new toll road routes you have proposed in South Orange County, specifically 9 and 18, known as the Beltway option. These routes would devastate Ladera Ranch and Rancho Mission Viejo, as well as greatly impact San Juan Capistrano and Mission Viejo. They would decimate our quality of life. It does not take a traffic engineer to figure out that the biggest traffic problem in South Orange County is north-south along the I-5. Proposed toll road route number 9 and 18 would not help solve any of the traffic problems. Today, I wanted to give you my top 10 reasons on why you should not move Route 9 and 18 to the EIR phase. Number 1, these routes are grossly expensive, costing over $1.5 billion. 2, diminished property values. 3, destruction of pristine habitat for native plants, endangered species, and other wildlife on the reserve of Rancho Mission Viejo. This is a partnership that is the result of more than 20 years of study and collaboration between RMV, the County of Orange, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, California Department of Fish and Game, and the environment. Significant threat, number 4, significant threat to all watershed areas during construction. 5, noise pollution that would affect tens of thousands of families. Cars, trucks release over 40 different toxic air contaminants. 6, destruction of open space and trails. 7, unknown health effects on children and adults alike. 8, we'll be close to 2 local schools where we send our children daily, including Capistrano Valley High School and Ascensia K-8. Construction of any toll road near a school is unlawful under Section 17213 of the California Educational Code. 9, would be adjacent to Capistrano Valley High School in Mission Viejo and Ascensia, as mentioned, which is in violation of the CUSD agreement to protect students from pollution of this magnitude. 10, all but requires the exercise of eminent domain for acquiring the land in the developed neighboring surrounding areas of Avery Parkway. In conclusion, we as residents strongly oppose Route 9 and Route 18 through our communities. There are other proposed toll road routes and project alignments that would provide regional mobility benefits with less of a detrimental impact. We ask you, tens of thousands of families, not to move routes 18 and 19, or pardon me, 9 and 18 to the EIR phase for the above-mentioned reasons. These 2 routes aren't feasible and just don't make sense. Thank you very much for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you. And for our public speakers, there's a little green, yellow, and red light bulb up there. I imagine it means the same thing as a traffic light. Sam Sumitani, I hope I pronounced your last name right.
Good morning. Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. Followed by Jeff Bronstein.
Good morning, Board of TCA Directors. My name is Sam Sumitani, and I've been a resident of Rancho Mission Viejo for the past 3 years. You have heard, and you will be hearing from my friends and neighbors on how the various proposals for extending the 241 toll road will be devastating to our communities. I think we all recognize that these proposals right now are mere lines on a map, and that we are still in the very early stages in the development of these plans. The one thing I'd like to point out is the tremendous community opposition to a few of these proposals in particular, including the extension of the 241 through the existing communities of San Clemente, and the connection of the 241 to the 73 through existing neighborhoods in Ladera Ranch, Rancho Mission Viejo, San Juan Capistrano, and Mission Viejo. This early and strong opposition should be indicative of the problematic nature of these options, and while there will be an opportunity to express these concerns and more at the June 5th public forum, if the objective is to build community consensus, then I would respectfully submit that these highly controversial options be dropped from consideration, including options 9 and 18. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Bronstein. And on deck is Pamela Retter, I'm sorry. Mr. Bronstein, please
Thank
proceed.
you. Good morning, board members. My name is Jeff Bronstein, and I'm a resident of Ladera Ranch. My home is on the south side ridge above the community of Sendero. The proposed Beltway option would run just beneath my home where I live with my wife and my 2 young children. We moved to Ladera Ranch for the peace, tranquility, and serenity that's unique to South Orange County. We specifically purchased our house because it is adjacent to a trail that runs along the whole south side of Ladera. The trail truly is one of the great assets of our community, and if proposals number 9 and 18 are constructed, that asset would be destroyed. Additionally, our home value would plummet and our quality of life would be dramatically affected. The peace, tranquility, and serenity that drew us to South Orange County would be replaced by noise and air pollution. I do not intend on letting that happen. The communities of Ladera Ranch, Rancho Mission Viejo, Hunt Club, Marbella, and others are galvanized and ready to fight this proposal with everything we have. The Beltway option was considered by the TCA, and rejected in the past and was only recently added as an option when our neighbors to the south, wanting to keep the toll road out of their backyard, suggested this option. On the surface, since we are unincorporated and lack a mayor and city council to represent our community's interests, we may appear to be an easy target. This couldn't be further from the truth. I speculate the reasons why this option was rejected in the past are the same reasons why it still makes no sense today. Number one, the main traffic problem in South Orange County is on the I-5 south of where the Beltway is proposed. If the traffic problem was an east-west problem, why is the main picture on the homepage of the GetMovingOC.com webpage, sponsored by the TCA, a picture of bumper-to-bumper traffic on the I-5 at Christianitos Road in front of a sign that says San Clemente city limits? Constructing the Beltway option would have no impact on the traffic in the I-5 and San Clemente. Rather, it would just put a useless toll road in our backyard, and certainly the TCA would still be able to make an argument in the future that South Orange County needs more toll roads to alleviate the traffic congestion on the I-5 in San Clemente. Number two, much of the land that has been identified as the area where the Beltway would cut through our communities has been, this is a quote from Rancho Mission Viejo, preserved as permanent natural open space for habitat and species protection that supports 7 endangered or threatened species. It would also impact all the area watersheds and wetland habitats, including the Lower Trabuco Creek, San Juan Creek, and the Horno Basin. Number three, to connect the number 9 to the 73 would certainly require exercising eminent domain to take houses along Vio Escalar. That would also put the toll road adjacent to 2 schools, Capistrano Valley High School and Stony Brook Christian School. I remind you that in 2003, SB 352 was passed. That state law prevents schools from being built near freeways and roadways with high volumes of traffic and congestion due to the health risks from pollution. This route would subject students and teachers to those risks. Additionally, it would adversely affect the Arroyo Trabuco Golf Course. Just like our community will not sit by quietly, I'm certain those communities will not either. Number four, the cost to build the Beltway option would be exorbitant. Between the construction costs, tunneling costs, and eminent domain costs, the costs outweigh the benefits. The Beltway is not a legitimate option, and I urge this board, just give me one more moment, I urge this board to look at this option objectively rather than with a not in my backyard lens. Do not succumb to political pressure and endorse a toll road that will ruin my community and do nothing to alleviate traffic in all of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. I will let you all finish your sentence. I'm not going to choke you all off.
Good
Ms.
morning,
Reeder,
Board. Oops, sorry.
followed by Joanna Matthews.
Good morning, Board. I'm Pamela Reeder, and I also live along the ridge of Ladera Ranch and with my husband and 2 young children, and would basically have this toll road going really literally almost through my backyard. I'm not going to repeat all the things that were said by the other people about why it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of reasons why it doesn't make sense, but I just want to talk more about how disheartening it's been that San Clemente has decided that a good strategy is to try to just push it out of San Clemente and by doing the Beltway option. If toll roads don't make sense and if they're hurting any community, let's work together and come up with a different option. I ethically would never come up here and start pushing for toll roads in San Clemente because I don't want number 9 and number 18 in my backyard. I think we need to work together as all of South Orange County and preserve our great area and not fight each other and say it needs to be here, it needs to be there. If nobody wants the toll roads, then let's work together and not do the toll roads. We need to really look at this. But I have to say that I'm ready to fight 9 and 18 if it goes forward, if it goes to the EIR stage. I don't want to. I don't want us to all be battling, but I will. But I'd much rather we all come together and try to come up with a solution that works. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Joanna Matthews, followed by Tony Hayes.
Hi there, my name is Joanna Matthews, and I'm a San Clemente resident. I've actually lived in Orange County, was born in Orange County, both north and south, for over the past 35 years. There's 2 things I've learned in California in regards to driving. The first thing is a nice car will get windshield cracks, door dings, or hit by a distracted driver. The second thing is that we will always have traffic congestion at peak times, not just in South Orange County, but all over Southern California. For some reason, there is a sense of urgency in solving South County traffic when there's other major traffic issues in all areas. During our recent drought, there was a mandatory conservation with fines imposed for exceeding a very conservative water allotment. Ironically, during the worst drought on record, new homes, apartments, and swimming pools were still approved to be built. These new homes being built in open areas away from the coast, and their developers want new roads to be built to accommodate their increased traffic at the expense of historical towns that are already developed. My point is building a toll road is not going to help, as more development beyond what we are currently aware of is likely the main reason this is being forced upon us by the TCA, politicians, and developers. Whether you own a home or assuming temporary accommodations, the nearly completed 5 freeway widening will likely help ease traffic, and the La Plata extension that opened up just last August is a great shortcut to San Juan and beyond, and vice versa back to San Clemente. To say that this toll road extension is needed because of planned Orange County growth is a bunch of crock. No matter how many excuses TCA and the others who have their hands in the cookie jar try to sell us, it won't work. South Orange County residents are too smart and know that this toll road isn't for us. It is instead for those with financial and political gains, period. Because if in fact was for us, it would be free to use. After all, we do pay taxes and fees for roads, and it would not be planned in areas that would take down homes, destroy open space and recreation, such as hiking for all of South Orange County to use, worsen air quality, be built near schools where our children shouldn't have the extra noise or pollution while learning and playing outside at recess, destroy environmental habitats, destroy beautiful views that could never be replaced once hills are knocked out, and decrease property values of our homes. Lastly, the toll road is not a perfect solution for moving traffic. Just like freeways, toll roads are subjected to fatal accidents, police standoffs and activities, fires, earthquakes that could potentially knock out all the freeways at the same time, collapses, spills, or anything else no one sees coming. And I've been on the toll roads before where there's been traffic. So again, don't believe the fear factor the TCA politicians, developers, and anyone else or businesses think that this will help them financially are trying to instill on us. Their objectives in planning to build this toll road are clearly for their best interest and not for us. Please join me in saying no to any toll road extension. And lastly, please research political candidates more carefully before voting in the next election. I definitely have regrets for the candidate I voted for in the last election. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hayes, followed by Michelle Schumacher.
Good morning.
And I remind everyone not to direct any comments towards any director, just through the chair, if you don't mind, please. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
My comment is in the form of a request to provide members of the public with sufficient information that we can have reasonable discussion about the requirements for future roads in South Orange County. In particular, whether you can provide, and I can't find it on your website, information about the current traffic flows, both on the freeways themselves and the origin and destination traffic, that is, what percentage of traffic is local and what percentage of traffic is in fact long distance. Also, what is your methodology for predicting what the traffic flows are going to be in the future, and then what those numbers are. I can't find those numbers on the web. Maybe they're somewhere in the web, but I sure can't find them. And we can't have any kind of meaningful discussion until this kind of information is available. In particular, what is really important is that that you consider the impact of advanced technologies and systems on future traffic flows. Whether we like it or not, the day of the private car, family car, is over. We are going to move to a system where there are driverless cars that are owned by Uber or whatever entity it might be. There is going to be Uber Pool, which is automated, and we are going to have much denser traffic than we have right now. With automated vehicles, you can have caravans of vehicles, very high density traffic. With Uber Pool, you call Uber, and a vehicle comes around, and you go off to San Diego or wherever you want to go, either joint or singly. These things are going to happen. I have 3 children, all in their 20s. None of them have cars. The days of the private car is over. And I would like to know, and I think the public deserves to know, to what extent you are considering these future technologies in predicting future traffic growth. Because I believe that there will be of the order of doubling of traffic density that is permissible. Another area is in traffic signals. There is no reason why we don't have automated traffic signals except for an unwillingness, basically, to permit them. That we have traffic signals that receive information from the cloud on immediate and long-term traffic, which have heuristic algorithms that will tell them when to change the lights. So all these things are possible, and that, by the way, traffic signals will put more traffic on surface streets. So all these things are possible, and we deserve to know what's going to be considered. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Michelle Schumacher, followed by Eva O'Keefe.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for hearing our comments this morning. I want to say two things before I talk about air quality. One, why can we not have Orange County, South Orange County, be the testing ground for Google and the flying cars they're building and flying apparatuses? Why can't we have Tesla down here with our Hyperloop and have South Orange County be the testing ground for where things, good change, good mobility solutions are happening? The second is we all support arterials and not destroying any one of the cities. If a city doesn't want it, please do not vote for it. There's other solutions. San Clemente is happy to take La Plata through Christianitos, you know, the Crown Valley to the 241. There, you've got your 5 extension. So this morning, let's talk about air quality. We all have to breathe to live. The 241 extension and the build out of Rancho Mission Viejo master plan would accumulatively exacerbate the existing adverse ambient quality and conditions within the South Coast Air Basin, which is considered an unavoidable significant impact under the California Environmental Quality Act. The proposed alignment for alternatives 13, 17, and 14 would run through existing and planned neighborhoods within Rancho Mission Viejo, the city of San Juan Capistrano, and the city of San Clemente, and would impact the following sensitive receptors: San Juan Hills High School, Vista Del Mar Elementary and Middle School, Vista Hermosa Sports Park, San Clemente Aquatic Center, Marblehead Elementary, Bright Horizons Preschool, St. Andrews by the Sea, San Clemente High School, and the Capistrano Unified District Office. A portion of the Alignment 14 would actually take out part of San Clemente High School's sports fields. These proposed roadways alternative alignments have the potential to expose sensitive receptors to ozone, particulate matter, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, lead, reactive organic gases, volatile organic compounds, and mobile source air toxins, including cancer-causing diesel, particulate matter, and diesel exhaust. Children's exposures to the mobile air source toxins emissions would be higher than adults because children are still growing and developing, and they're more sensitive to the adverse health effects of mobile source air toxins emissions than adults. In some cases, the effects are irreversible. And since Caltrans and FHWA do not require the preparation of standalone human health risk assessments or quantification of construction emissions as part of their environmental analysis in the environmental documents, the true short-term and long-term indirect and direct impacts on our children's health and health of our communities will generally go undocumented and ignored. The proposed toll road alignments would result in increased cancer and respiratory problems from short-term and long-term exposure to air pollutant emissions, fugitive dust, and the use of chemicals such as dust separants and hazardous materials. Please protect the health of our children and the affected communities and say no to any alignment that has the potential to place a roadway near or existing neighborhood schools, parks, hospitals, recreation facilities, trails, and nursing homes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Eva O'Keefe, followed by Sandy Marquez.
Hello, my name is Ava O'Keefe. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the TCO board members. I am the founder of the PAC Coalition to Save San Clemente. I am here to enter into the record the petitions with 2,500 electronic signatures and 700 comments to stop the toll road through San Clemente. I'm going to read some of the comments. First of all, it will not ease traffic. It is within 500 feet of six schools, violating California law. Impacts the natural habitat of the gnatcatcher and endangered species. Will add noise and air pollution to our neighborhood. Will impact significantly the value of our home. Will impose our privacy since vehicles on the road can look down into our backyards. Another one says increases health risk including cancer, stroke, and heart disease. People are getting greedy once again. Anyone with a brainstem would definitely be against it. The Master Association of Rancho San Clemente, association comprised of 14 HOAs, has submitted a resolution that has provisions for the general plan, specific plans, city ordinance, which would require a citywide vote to change the land use of open space. San Clemente was founded and built by Ole Hansen, my grandfather, with a very beautiful idea in mind, an authentic Spanish revisionist architecture town by the sea that blended into the gorgeous landscape and ocean shore. Quality of life was one of the main ideas, with a nice Mediterranean climate complemented by sunshine. Here he considered was just the place for swimming, walking, exercise, and health in harmony with nature. The plan was right of Ole Hansen's philosophy of life that shared with his good late friend, President Theodore Roosevelt. Those who have no interest in the city of San Clemente, nor the healthy lifestyle it promotes, nor the beauty of the city and its history, plan to sully the beauty of this magical place with a hideous toll road. This is something that my grandfather would oppose immensely, and I share his sentiments. This monstrosity must be stopped and not allowed to proceed. Oppose this with every inch of your political fortitude. I stand with you, Phil Hathel Hansen. Momentum is building at light speed. We have received supports from Mr. Applegate, which I don't share his political views, but happens to be my neighbor, Mike Levin, and others. We may not have the billions of taxpayer dollars and investment money to buy PR at the Ocean Fest, but we have thousands of motivated people, radio personality, legal minds, environmentalists, physicians, engineers that are joining in our fight. TCA, you're saying these are lines of the map, on the map. Why are we seeing SOMAs, surveyors, helicopters in our hills? To the TCA Executive Board, eliminate all routes, not just the one in San Clemente, through established neighborhoods. I stand here united with San Juan Capistrano, Ladera Ranch, Rancho Mission Viejo. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Marquez, followed by Kate Votis.
Good morning. My name is Sandy Marquez. My husband and myself are one of the top realtors in San Clemente, and we strongly oppose any toll roads through the city. We live and work in Forester Ranch and represent thousands of homeowners, some of who are retired and are petrified of losing everything they've ever worked for, their home, their largest asset. When we and thousands of other homeowners bought our home, the builder's brochure described Forester as only 2 miles from the beach and light years away from the rat race. Forester is a laid-back country coastal community in the rolling hills of San Clemente. You can opt to spend your leisurely moments relaxing at the beach, or just steps outside your front door, you can be hiking on the Ridgeline Trail System. The Ridgeline Trail Systems wrap around the perimeter of the community, following the pathways already forged by local wildlife, winding its way through the vegetation native to the San Clemente area. Each of the 3 trailheads offers a different destination point located on a scenic plateau with 360-degree views from the ocean to the hills. The brochure goes on to highlight all the special environmental species such as the western fence lizards, gnatcatchers, hummingbirds, natural bird habitats, butterflies, roadrunners, and sage scrub. The trails and open space surrounding our community is land the developer had to give the city to build the homes. It is also known as mitigation land. You cannot mitigate this land. Open space, rolling hills, peace and quiet, that's why we bought our home, and thousands of other residents can attest to the same. Have you ever spent any time in our neighborhoods? Have you hiked our trails? Or have you just looked at the aerial map from the TCA? I invite you to walk our trails and to meet our families the TCA is trying to destroy. A toll road would completely destroy the majority of the highest priced homes in our city. These proposed routes are not a solution for traffic. This is clearly an investment opportunity for investors and the TCA. You have a choice to take a stand to protect the homeowners, protect our property values, and preserve the environment. We urge you to find alternative routes that don't destroy neighborhoods and schools. Siding with any TCA routes through San Clemente, you will be destroying lives, and I'm sure when you all decided to run for your elected position, that was not your intention. Thank you.
Thank you. Kate's next. My last public comments is for Greg and Jennifer Glode. If there's anyone in the audience who wishes to speak, you go ahead and submit your request now, because after the last public speakers, we close public comments. Go ahead, please.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak. My name is Kate Wojtusz. I'm a resident of San Clemente. I am here to once again come from a medical perspective. I was a neuroscience major in college. I went to medical school up in New Hampshire, Dartmouth. I did my residency in emergency medicine. at UCLA. And from my perspective, I think that together as a group, I think you can hear from the citizens here. I don't think it matters if you live in San Clemente, Ladera Ranch, Rancho Mission Viejo, San Juan Capistrano. We are here as a united group to tell you that it is not right to put a road through an established neighborhood. There in San Clemente, of course, in the last month since I've become aware of this issue, of these possible options, I have spent countless hours trying to understand where the TCA is coming from, what your plans are for the future. I really appreciate listening to these open comments. It's great to hear people that are coming up with ideas. Where is the information from your side? Please make this more public. We want to understand why you think that coming through our town or Ladera Ranch or others, why is that the only solution? Let's look forward and look into the future. More specifically, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about some of the research that I've come up with. I've spent hours looking at this from the USC Environmental Health Centers. They have spent time, last 20 years, looking into the policies, looking into effects of policies that have helped with air pollution. There are drastic changes for the better when policies have been put through, and I would like to reverse that. There are going to be drastic negative effects by putting increased pollution very close to where children, families are living. I do not think it's okay for you guys to push something through an established neighborhood. Find another option. For example, there's different health effects that are associated with being close to air pollution and to highways: gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, preeclampsia, developing fetuses and babies, low birth weight, born early, problems with behavior, learning, autism, or other areas of the development, behavior, learning. In children, asthma. Not only is it asthma in the short term when you're related to something, it actually decreases the amount of growth of lungs long term. So children that are exposed to air pollution when they're young, they have less vital capacity of their lungs later and continue to have lung problems the rest of their lives. Hospitalization for asthma goes way up when people live near air pollution areas. Ear, nose, and throat infections. In teenagers, again, smaller lungs. In later life, heart disease, stroke, lung problems, memory problems, and shorter life overall. We as a group ask you, please do not put this to established neighborhoods. It is one thing if a highway is built and you decide to move next to it. From our perspective, we have put our houses, we have built houses or bought a house away from highways for a specific reason. Please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg and Jennifer Glode will be our last public speakers.
Hi, thank you for having us up here. My name is Greg Glady. It's my wife, Jennifer Glady. We live in San Clemente. I live in Talega. I'm a small business owner, GRG Wireless in San Clemente. I'm also a realtor for Keller Williams in San Clemente. I don't have a script. I just wanted to come up here and say that I oppose any toll road that goes through San Clemente, Ladera Mission, and San Juan Capistrano. I also volunteer 10 to 15 hours a week as a coach, as a head coach, as an assistant coach in San Clemente, and as Dana Point. And I do speak for the children. The children don't want a toll road by our Little League fields in San Clemente, as I'm sure they don't in all the other communities. And I know that we do not want anything being dumped in the parking lot of San Clemente High School. San Clemente and these South Orange County towns are absolutely beautiful. They're stunning. It's a way of life. It's quality of life. And what you're planning with these toll roads is visual pollution, noise pollution, sight pollution, and health pollution. We all realize that you have jobs to do, right? We all have jobs to do. We got to find solutions for the traffic in South Orange County. I think the best route is some of these arterial routes that are being proposed. I know in San Clemente, the La Pata road up north has been a wonder, and a lot of us, we use it a lot, and I thank you for that. What I would implore yourselves is at night, when you go to bed, think about the children of South Orange County. Think about the solutions that you have to find, how you have to do your job, how you have to duty. And as I tell my kids, when we're maybe behind in a football game or a baseball game or whatever, I say, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and think about what we are trying to do here. Let's stick to our game plan, and let's find a solution. San Clemente's motto is one town, one team. And if you look at it in all reality, it could be Orange County, one team. The people in Orange County are behind you. We want to find solutions, we really do. But we implore you when you go to bed at night to look at yourselves in the mirrors and ask yourself, why? Why am I going to pull a toll road through these beautiful towns that offer a way of life that isn't offered anymore in any of the other counties in the state of California, at least in the South Bay? So I say one word to you, just ask yourself when you go to bed at night, why? Why? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes public comments. We go on to the San Joaquin Hills consent calendar. Do I have any directors that wish to pull any of the items from the San Joaquin Hills consent calendar?
Chair, I wish to pull item number 1, or I'm sorry, the minutes of the meeting,
Okay,
which was 1. Thank you.
Move the balance.
I have a motion to move the balance. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Very good. Director Ward, would you like to discuss the
Yes.
minutes?
In the minutes, there are a lot of public comments from people that showed up at the last meeting. I would like to see the clerk go through the tape again and get some more of the comments. Certainly, some of these are cut a little too short. Mr. Greek, Ron Greek from San Clemente, he's saying only viable route is around San Clemente. He also said that this agency should be disbanded if it's going to pursue routes that do not work. And I think his statement that we are pursuing routes that will not work is vital and should be in there. I also heard many other people say how much this would destroy San Clemente, and that is not reflected in the record. So I think for the public process, people that come here, all of their comments, not verbatim, but their specific points should be in the public record.
Thank
So I would
you.
ask that that be done.
Thank you, Director Spitzer.
Yes. So-
I just have, oh, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Kathy.
Well, I ask that it comes back and we approve it the next meeting with those changes.
Thank you.
So I think eons ago when I was chair, we had debates about the minutes. What's the goal of the minutes? We have this discussion on all the boards we sit on. So I would just ask council or the executive officer, the goal is just to highlight the general idea, not make it a,
Are all other microphones off, including mine?
wasn't, because I just turned it off. Okay. The idea is, so council, can you just answer that question? Because the tape is the best record, right? The actual recording is the best record and documentation of people's point of view, and that's a public record. Anybody can pull it, and they could actually get it on a CD or DVD or whatever, so they could utilize it or listen to it. Or so maybe council could just, what is the latest policy direction of the board on what the goal of the minutes are?
Well, as a matter of law, Director Spitzer, the minutes are to be a general summary of what was discussed. And as long as they are not misleading or inaccurate, they are legally compliant. That does not mean that the minutes are required to include every statement that was made. As you point out, there is a record, which is a matter of public record, and that is the tape recording of the meeting, and that is a publicly available document.
Yeah, Director Ward, my problem, I completely understand your point. I've been on boards where the clerks have written almost verbatim minutes, and it's so staff intensive and time consuming. It's not fair to staff, because then they're literally transcribing what everybody says. And that would, you can't just have it for public comment, because then it would have to be us too. It would have to be our staff, because you can't have different standards. So the part that I have no problem with what you're trying to achieve. I just would like you to respond to my point that the tape itself is the best record. And then also in your answer to my question to you, would anybody ever be satisfied if the clerk was using her subjective intent on trying to figure out what she thought were the succinct or important points, as opposed to the fact that if you see Ron Greek, who I think I told you I've known him for 20 years. If I wanted to know what Ron Greek said, I could just go and pull that, and the clerk would have to produce it to me as a public record within 10 days, or if it's available, shorter. So that's my question to you, is how do you want to achieve what you're trying to do? Because if you don't have a transcript, I don't think people will ever be happy unless it's a verbatim of what everybody said. That's my worry. It's so time-consuming for staff. It really is.
Can I respond?
No, I'm asking you
Okay.
pointedly through the chair, with the permission of the chair, because I think we need an answer to that.
Okay. I agree it should not be a verbatim record, but however, it should go both ways. We have a comment in here from someone from San Juan Capistrano that's two very long sentences. This seems to benefit what TCA wants the record to say, and yet Mr. Greek, who definitely very involved with this agency, had more important things to say than just the only viable route is around San Clemente. He was trying to tell this board how much a toll road would destroy San Clemente, and that this board should be disbanded if they keep pursuing routes that will not work.
Okay,
He
so
did
this-
say the only
yeah, I'm
viable
sorry.
route is here. So I just think his comments were so important and concise that it could have definitely been in there. Instead, we're seeing something from Aaron Bayer from San Juan Capistrano saying the traffic problems are real, they are not going away, they will continue to get worse.
Okay,
I
so can
applaud
I make a
TCA's board.
suggestion? I
so-
don't mean to step on. Let me make a suggestion.
Okay.
Because that's my point. You will never make anybody happy if the clerk is asked to pick and choose. So this is my suggestion. We actually make it more succinct for every comment. That the clerk would be directed on any comment, whether it's this issue or any issue, the name of the speaker and the topic they brought up. So it would be toll road, against. And then if you really want to know for or against, so we shouldn't elaborate either one, because you're going to be accused of taking sides. So we should actually be much more lean. And then I'm assuming, I haven't looked in a long time, but isn't this on our website? Can't you listen to our meetings on the website?
No, and actually, that would be a good
Okay,
suggestion.
okay, I'm not there. That's where I'm going. So look, everyone, I don't know, in your councils, and you can watch us live, you can go back and watch it. They're up in about 30 minutes. Without a doubt, our meetings and this recording should be put up on the website. We have the technology, and then that way we've resolved the problem. So the minutes would just be, just a real quick and dirty, this is what the person said, the topic, and they were for or against, whatever. And then you would be directed, you can go to, it would be on the website, and from now on, anybody can listen. So my suggestion is we actually streamline it, and then we put up these hearings on our website.
Is that do I hear a suggestion or a motion?
Mr. Chair?
Well,
Okay, thank you.
and I would agree with that, that would take care of the problem, absolutely.
Who else?
Okay, thank you.
I guess
Director
this
Beal.
isn't Foothill Eastern, so I'm just going to,
No, it would apply.
well, if it's going to apply to Foothill Eastern as well, what I would suggest, I don't think anyone has a problem with the minutes accurately reflecting what occurred. I don't think we need anything near verbatim. I would suggest every director has the ability, when they approve minutes or vote to approve, if they think something's inaccurate, you could offer a clarification. I don't think we have to put it onto our staff. I'd give a sentence or two to reflect the points you think weren't accurately reflected. I don't expect any director would have a problem with that, and we fix the minutes that way. I don't think we have to make a federal case out of the way our minutes are done, because they've worked very well for a long, long time.
Thank you. Director Caruth, Vice Chair Caruth?
This isn't on the agenda, however, perhaps at our next meeting, this could be something that's on the agenda about Director Spitzer's idea of just making sure that these transcripts or this audio, if that's all we can get, just the audio on a website, maybe that's something the staff could bring back at the next meeting.
So I think staff has heard the request, has heard Director Ward's concern, and let's let them have time to digest all of this and consider the recommendations and suggestions for further discussion at another time. Do I have a motion to move the minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I still have some
Second.
discussion.
Director
I would
Ward?
like to add to that motion then that Mr. Greek's comments, because I believe they are so important, and he's a very knowledgeable person of this agency, that his comments should be included in the record. No, but the main points that he made should be included, not just that we should pursue the other route that went around us.
Thank you, Director Spitzer.
I'm trying to prevent this from happening. That's why I raised it. Director Ward, you and I had an agreement. So my suggestion is this part of the minutes, the public comment section, continue that for approval or whatever to the next meeting when it comes back with suggestions on how to do the minutes going forward, and also whether or not we would put the recording of our meetings up on the website. That way, we are not sitting here today picking and choosing which comments should be cut or deleted or expanded. We will never, ever, ever satisfy anybody. So please, I'm trying to get a rational and logical compromise, an actually better way, which is, let's let the staff work on these minutes consistent with, Director Ward and I had an agreement. Make them much more succinct, and then let the tape speak for itself. That is the best way to handle this.
Okay, so is that an alternate motion?
I would just
Substitute?
ask that the maker of the motion, just to, as a friendly amendment, just agree to continue this public comment section with the direction to staff to come back, and we'll fix it at the next meeting.
Who made the motion?
Well, that's fine. I would suggest that maybe the best thing to do is suggest that we just have one-line comments for everybody, and that's the better way to do it. But it's very difficult to have the suggestion to incorporate someone's ideas when you don't have anything before us of specificity that we could actually change the minutes, and that's the frustration, I think. So I'm fine moving it till next meeting.
Director
I'll-
Potter?
I'll second
Yoder?
the motion to continue to the next meeting.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, the minutes are passed. We now go to, I have to find it before we go to it.
Foothill Eastern consent.
We now go to Foothill Eastern consent calendar, items 1 through 7 and 10 through 13.
I'd like to move 1 through 7.
We have a
10 through
motion
13.
to move consent items for Foothill. Do I have a second? I have a second. Anybody else want to pull anything?
Chair, do we have to
Director
say the same
Murphy?
thing about number 1?
No.
Continue number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much, that horse is whipped up pretty well. It's part of everybody's minutes. Director Murphy?
Never mind, we've already beat this horse, that's fine.
Thank you.
Roll.
Mr. Director Voigt, are you opposed to the beating of horses?
I would be adamantly against the beating of horses.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All those in favor of moving the Foothill Eastern consent calendar signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have to abstain. The minutes are confusing. I'm abstaining from the minutes, but it's going to be continued to next meeting. And I won't
Thank
be
you,
here.
Director Krieg, for your abstention. Any other abstentions? Thank you very much. Those consent items move. Okay, so moving along to board business items 14 through 16. Agenda item number 14, joint toll roads items of on-call construction, engineering, management, and consulting services. Mr. Lowe, Chief Engineer, is already up there and ready to rock and roll. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. We're here today to seek your approval on establishing a list of on-call consultants for construction engineering management consulting services. We have a number of projects that are coming up in the next 5 years that we're planning on using these consultants for. They include the Express Connector from the 241 to the 91. The Oso Bridge and Gap Closure is a project that the county is actually doing the construction management on, but they've asked for some support from consultants to supplement their staff, and we're including those in this list. We also have the South County Mobility Improvement Project, which is, needs some work on the environmental document as far as establishing construction equipment and impacts due to that equipment to the environment. We looked at the 5-year workload, and we're estimating we'll need 3 firms for these on-call services. So we're planning on issuing contracts for 3 years with 2 one-year extensions. And this item is just for establishing the list of on-call consultants. Future task orders will be developed based on project needs and will be brought back to the boards for authorization. As I said, we do have some work to do with the environmental documentation. The consultants will also be performing constructability reviews on the projects, value engineering, look at construction staging. They'll be doing construction oversight and inspection as well as materials testing. So when we went out for proposals, we had 8 firms that submitted statements of qualifications, and they were evaluated by a committee, consisting of 2 agency staff and representatives from both OCTA and Caltrans. The top 3 highest ranked firms are recommended for selection. And here's the list of the scores that we got from the statements of qualifications. And our recommendation is to award the on-call contracts to the top 3 firms. And with that, I'd entertain any questions.
Directors, do we have any? Director Ward?
I have a quick question. Do we have any consultants now on board that could do this work currently that we are contracting with?
We have contracts with specific consultants for specific projects. But now we're trying to establish an on-call list where we could give out task orders to each one of those consultants as we see the need arises.
I'm just trying to determine how much we need 3 extra contractors and whether this is really a need, something that we can do, or we have the talent already that could accomplish this. Why are we hiring more?
Well, we have the larger project coming up is the 24191 connector project, and the supplemental work for the Oso Bridge project is not a small amount of work. The county has asked us for a number of staff to be on that project for a 2-year period, so that's going to be quite a significant amount of work. As far as the environmental documentation that needs to be done, that's not very significant, but it is some work that needs to be done to evaluate on each one of the alternatives what kind of equipment is going to be on the job, what kind of pile driving is going to be done, to include that information in the environmental document as we go forward.
Okay, thank you.
Director Bartlett, followed by Director Spitzer.
I remember in the committee level, we had a really robust discussion on this item, and I think it was discussed that we have, in Orange County right now, we have a multitude of infrastructure projects that are underway. And the scope of work for these 3 firms, they all have different areas of expertise. So staff would kind of pick and choose depending on the specific scope of work on a project to pull from one firm versus another from the list of 3. But these 3 firms are well respected in Orange County, and they do work for OCTA, for the county, for a multitude of other agencies. So having these firms added to our list, I think, makes perfect sense based upon the fact that we have a lot of projects going on in Orange County right now, and for their specific areas of expertise, it makes sense to add them to our on-call list. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Spitzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lowe, I need a refresher on the procurement rules. So this is typical of on-call, but now with respect to projects or tasks, how much are you allowed to award without coming back to the board in each instance? Do you remember do you know the procurement manual off the top of your head? Do you know it, Mike?
Yeah, so the limit would be, we would come back to the board for anything that was over $25,000 per agency or $50,000 between both agencies. So virtually everything on this, every task order will come back to the board on this contract.
And then, is that annually? So does that number refresh itself at the expiration of a year, or is that for the cumulative work?
We sort of treat each task order as a little contracting event, so we treat them individually, but you're correct. If we were to bring like if there were three $20,000 task orders, for instance, that we would have the authority to approve, the cumulative amount of that would create a situation such that we would then bring that to the board, back to the board because of the cumulative amount under one contract.
Right, okay. So there's a couple rules that take place. The reason I ask is I'm focused obviously on the 24191 since I chair that ad hoc. And that's a very sensitive project with OCTA. So it's really important that the directors are involved in whatever work is advancing. So we don't, because we've had a lot of conversations, my colleagues on the ad hoc know what I'm talking about potentially getting too far ahead of ourselves. So I'm just very sensitive about too much work going out under that threshold. So I would just ask you, Mr. Cramen, in addition to the procurement restrictions which guide you, that on that project in particular, you make sure at least we're talking about these in the ad hoc before any work is meted out, because I don't want to have to explain that at OCTA, why we're moving forward with some work when maybe we haven't got to the point where other people might think we should be. So again, we've had that conversation, Mr. Cramen. I would just renew it in light of this new on-call contracts. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other directors who wish to speak on the item? Seeing none, I believe we could have one vote for this, since it's the same for each agency. Is that correct?
No, you need separate votes. Motion and a second from each agency and a separate vote.
That's what I thought.
I'll move San Joaquin.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Thank you. All those in favor of this item signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Any
Opposed.
Thank you. And Director Ward opposes. Any abstentions? Thank you all very much. We move now to item number 15, the amendment of the prior approval of a memorandum of understanding for continued operation of the Center for Demographic Research at the California State University, Fullerton. Valerie, please lead us in this discussion.
Will do. Good morning, directors. Valerie McFall, Chief Environmental Planning Officer for the TCA. The item before you today is for your reconsideration of a prior approval to reflect two corrections. The first corrects the face sheet of the staff report presented to you at last month's meeting, and the second attaches the corrected and final version of the memorandum of understanding. Please note that these corrections do not change or affect the budget approved by the boards at last month's meeting. The first correction, again, is the face sheet. It's been corrected to show a 50-50 split between the two agencies. For total cost to each agency over the 3-year time period is $141,002.63. These costs are paid on a quarterly basis and budgeted as part of the annual budget process. The annual cost per agency for the 3-year MOU is reflected on the table in front of you for a total cumulative cost of $282,005.26, again broken out by agency per fiscal year. The second correction to the staff report is the attachment number 1 of the MOU, and is shown in the red line strikeout on the table on the screen. All office space and a portion of the administrative assistant's time, which amounts to $95,645.32, is paid solely through the Cal State Fullerton. The remaining costs are funded through the sponsors, which is attachment 1 on page 13. This is a status of the sponsors. There's a total of 8 sponsors that support the MOU, and as well as their current status of signing the memorandum of understanding, the different organizations and their approvals currently for routing. The MOU is planned for execution in June of this year. At this time, staff is recommending that the San Joaquin Hills and Foothill Eastern agencies each amend their prior approvals and authorizations as specified in the staff report, and approve staff's recommendation to enter into the MOU with Cal State Fullerton and for continued operation of the Center for Demographic Research through June 30th of 2020. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Director Spitzer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. McFall, I raised these questions last time. We got the number wrong, so that fixes that. But on that table where you show that it looks like Cal State is picking up more of the pro rata share of the overhead in terms of the office, is that the major difference in the 95,000?
Correct. They had changed from 40% to 100% of the office space rent.
Okay, so I didn't understand that last time, raised it. Did they change it because of the comments here, or it was just a mistake?
It was an evolution of the MOU, and we had attached the earlier version of the MOU. So it was changed. So I think it was just through additional discussions with the CDR and the sponsors that the university offered to cover all office space. So we, in error, attached the wrong version of the MOU and presented that to the board last month.
So the other agencies that were listed, some of us sit on those boards as well. Do we know if that error applied to all the other agencies, or was just our own internal oversight?
I have Deborah Depp here today.
I'm
with
just wondering
CR.
if every other agency has to go back and fix this too.
Yeah, I don't believe that is the case, but I can verify with
Who's this
Deborah.
young lady? Is she with us?
Deborah Depp, she's with the Center for Demographic Research, and she's the executive director
Oh.
for the organization.
Well, she
and
probably knows the answer to this.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Deborah Depp, Center for Demographic Research, Cal State Fullerton. I do apologize for the confusion. The County Board of Supervisors was the first to approve the MOU on March 14th.
So did we really screw it up?
No, you didn't screw up. I gotta say, and at least CDR didn't. 2 hours after the board approved it, Cal State Fullerton and the Auxiliary Services Corporation, which are the two agencies that partner to create the CDR and host the CDR, they were doing an internal MOU regarding who was going to pay for the space rent and decided that they were going to pay for 100% of the rent instead of 40%. So 2 hours after you approved it, they decided to change the MOU. We had to reroute it to everyone. So it's actually going back before your board in 2 weeks on May 23rd.
For $30,000, we getting 30 grand back?
Not back, it's more of a
Credit?
internal clarification. It's a
on the
line
balance
item,
sheet, yeah.
zero-sum game to the other non-Cal State Fullerton
All right, I get
sponsors.
it. All right.
So,
Well, you tell Dr. Garcia, we're very appreciative of her leadership at Cal State Fullerton.
Will
So
do.
thank you for that, and thank you for clarifying all this.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other board members, directors, comments?
I will move it for Foothills.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. We have San Joaquin Hills. Do we need
Yeah, we need,
a motion and a
I'll move it
second?
for San Juan.
Thank you.
Second, San Juan.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstentions? All anything else as we need? Okay, moving to item number 16, another joint agenda item, Southern California Association of Governments Representations. Ms. Daly, please.
Good morning, Barbie Daly, Director of Government Affairs for the agencies. The item before you is the selection of TC's representative to the Southern California Association of Governments. SCAG is the largest metropolitan planning organization in the nation, encompassing 6 counties: Orange, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura, and Imperial, 191 cities and more than 18 million residents. SCAG develops long-range transportation plans, growth forecasting, regional transportation improvement programs, regional housing needs, allocations, and a portion of the South Coast air quality management plans, as well as the region's sustainable communications community strategy as required under SB 375. Since the toll roads are regionally significant facilities, they serve an integral role in SCAG's regional transportation plan as a managed lane system. While the agencies have only been a member of the Regional Council since 2010, our facilities have been in the SCAG's RTPs for more than 30 years. As a member of SCAG's Regional Council, TCA has a vote on regional policies that impact the agency's toll road network. Chairman Ross Chun is TCA's current representative on the Regional Council, but will be stepping down from the San Joaquin Hills Board at the end of June, leaving TCA's seat on the Regional Council vacant. The selection of TCA's representative falls within the purview of the boards of directors, who may nominate a board member or alternate member to serve. The only caveat is the individual cannot be a current member of SCAG representing another entity. Listed in my staff report are the board members that are currently serving as SCAG's representatives. This item was brought to the Joint Strategic Planning Ad Hoc Committee in April for discussion and referred to the Executive Committee for action. At this time, staff asks that the board entertain nominations for TCA's representative to SCAG's Regional Council.
Director Shea?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate that. I would like to nominate Peggy Wong for the position for SCAG.
I'd like to second that.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none,
Move to close nominations.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You can't oppose your own nomination.
I can't do that. Well, thank you, colleagues, for entrusting me to represent our board at SCAG.
Very good. And that was by both boards. I thought I heard, who was the San Joaquin?
Foothill, wasn't it? That was,
Foothill second.
that was Foothill, or, I can vote either way, so.
Director Shays goes either way.
So that was that one, so we need one for Foothill then. And I'll make a motion to move for Foothill as well.
Okay. And retroactively, we already voted. Which I have no idea is legal or not. At any rate. And it needs to be, so now we will have the vote on the nomination. All those in favor again?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes. Congratulations,
Yep.
Director. We look forward to your drive to LA. Well, you work down there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
We don't need
Yeah.
an alternate for that.
You
It's
have to
just
put up with
alternates
that as
could
it
be
is.
appointed. We could appoint an
Now we have the opportunity for the Chief Executive Officer's report. Mr. Kramen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a number of items today. First, let me start off with our traffic and revenue report. For the San Joaquin Hills Transportation Corridor, revenues are up 6.1% April over April, and transactions were up 4.1%, so a very good month for San Joaquin Hills. For Foothill Eastern, transactions were up 6%, and revenues were up 9% April year over year. And one day of note in April was Saturday, April 22nd, where our combined numbers for traffic and revenue on the road set an all-time high for a Saturday on the system since inception. So a good month. Second item, on May 25th, we will be holding our Operations and Finance Committee meeting in this room from 11:30 to 2 o'clock. This month, what we're doing is really a lot of our committee meetings we're combining into the Ops and Finance Committee for that month, and in particular, we will have a full presentation of the budget, which will be coming before you in June for approval. So it gives a little bit extra time in a committee setting for review and discussion of that item. One other item that I would just like to point out, so the Orange County Leadership Symposium, this is it's offered to Orange County elected officials, and it's focused on leadership training and development, and it's sponsored by ACC-OC in conjunction with the Cal State Fullerton Center for Leadership. And the original information on this had come out in the spring, but then there were conflicts, so this opportunity was postponed to the fall, and it looks like when it's going to be held is in October, so it'll be like 5 Fridays in October and then the first Friday in November. The cost of this, it's for elected officials, and the cost for this will be sponsored by the cities and the regional agencies. So just stay tuned for more information. I know that a few years ago when this was conducted, many of our board members participated in that, and it's a good thing. So just keep on the lookout for that, and it's a great opportunity that I hope you're able to avail yourselves to. At this time, I'm going to ask staff to help me on reporting on a few items. So I would like our CFO, followed by our Chief Environmental Planning Officer, followed by our Chief Toll Operations Officer, followed by our Chief Communications Officer to update you on a number of important items.
Good morning. I have some very good news. Last week, the San Joaquin Hills bonds were upgraded by Standard & Poor's. The senior lien bonds were upgraded from BBB minus to BBB flat, and the junior lien bonds were upgraded from BB plus to BBB minus. The main reason is the strong performance of the roads. The transactions and revenues are exceeding the traffic and revenue projections. But also cited was the board's financial responsibility and a commitment to following the plan of finance and making sure that the agency is financially responsible. So that concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I'd like to share with the board, last week, several of you attended the SCAG General Assembly out in Palm Springs and were there with us to accept SCAG's Sustainability Award. It's the highest award that SCAG offers, and it was for the recent settlement agreement that the board, Foothill League Board, approved in November. So I wanted to share this with all of you, and you're welcome to take it to your city councils and share the good news with them. But it's a lot of good effort that the agency has done, and it's been recognized by SCAG. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Just happy to report that on April 29th, we did complete our transition to our new customer service operations partner, Faneuil. Things are going fairly smoothly. We had a couple minor technical bumps, but Faneuil has demonstrated that they deliver what they promise. So they've been very great to work with. They are adjusting to challenges that come up on the fly and reacting fastly and working great with staff. As they had proposed, they did offer positions to all existing staff, whether direct employed by TCA or temporary staff. Some of those individuals chose to take their talents elsewhere, however. Those things happen, but by and large, we had about 80% of the folks choose to continue with our new partner. So on April 29th, all their projected positions were filled with 142 folks at all 3 locations, including here at Irvine, San Clemente, and our remote call center that is now in Orlando, Florida. So they accomplished something that we had struggled to accomplish for several years. So they were fully staffed on day one. Our observational data has shown that the staff now seems a little more motivated. There is a different feel when we walk through the call center. You can definitely see that Faneuil's management approach, we're still learning from them, and things seem to be going well. In terms of the board's initial expectations, they're already on track with one. For their first week of operations, the average wait time was under 5 minutes at 4 minutes and 44 seconds, which is one of the outcomes I know the board was very interested in achieving. We expect that to continue to improve because the contractual requirement in terms of our service level agreement is that 95% of the calls actually have to be answered within 5 minutes. So, you know, they're just starting, so they didn't meet that. In week 1, they only got 67%. But as of this week, I think they were in the 90s, so we can definitely expect that average wait time to drop further. They still have a couple of tools they need to implement that will help them manage their day-to-day work. I previously shared with the board how they use tools to project and manage workloads in 15-minute increments throughout the day. So they're constantly monitoring trends to make sure they have enough people answering the phones. They're still implementing those tools, and once those are in place, we will be very happy to see the improved performance. So now our customer service team is actively providing oversight and monitoring their performance and looking for continuous ways to improve our operations and our cost. And we are working on the creation of our performance reporting package that was requested by the board. We will be vetting those with the Joint Toll Ops Committee over the next few months to refine that and perfect it before we present it to the board early next fiscal year. That concludes my report.
Fourth up, this was like the home run. Fourth up, I'd like to announce that we are, as Amy, we get the slide up, we are close to 1 million open accounts and that for Fast Track and Express accounts. And so we are tracking when this might happen, that we get to the actual 1 million point. And at that point, we have 2 things we're going to be doing. We're going to be awarding a month of free tolls to the person who signs up, on one of the people who signs up the day that we reach 1 million accounts. And also for the people who are driving who already have accounts, we're going to take a drawing and of the day that we hit 1 million. and also give them a free month. So we're working on a program to publicize that. And if we move to the next slide, some of the things I want to share with you about our accounts real quickly is each month about 15,000 people sign up for an account, a TCA account. Of all our accounts outstanding, 60% are fast track accounts and 40% are express accounts. If you look at this number of 1 million, it would represent every household in Orange County. But we do have accounts all over the country and a lot in other parts, of course, of Southern California and California. Also, the other point that shows the significance, if you look at Angel Stadium, you would fill it 22 times with 1 million people for the count, representing 1 million account holders, and Honda Center would be filled 55 times. So the other thing we noted here is we've done some calculations, and for the hours that we're open, our building is open, it accounts for the 15,000 accounts each month, there's one account that's signed up every minute. So if you have any interest in other facts and factoids we're pulling together as we approach this milestone, we're going to use these facts as we report this through social media and other reporting efforts. But stay tuned, and we'll let you know as we get closer.
That concludes my report.
Just a couple of comments. First of all, on the upgrading of the bond rating, congratulations. I had the pleasure and the challenge of traveling back with Mr. Kramer and Ms. Potter and their team about 1.5 years, 2 years ago to implore the bond rating agencies to increase our rating. Their mandate was, let's wait and see how you guys look. And obviously, we've performed to their satisfaction. So that's a tremendous success story, and we're all grateful, and all the riders are grateful that this agency was able to achieve that. And secondly, I did also have the pleasure of attending the SCAG General Assembly last week, and Mr. Kramer does a great job of accepting these awards and thanking the board for our hard work. But I don't want us to pass by this recognition without acknowledging the staff, and in particular Mr. Kramer's leadership in achieving this award. I've never seen an award given for settling a lawsuit, but you know, I don't even know what the title of the category was, but it was the award of awards. We were above all the other awards, so I guess it was a pretty big lawsuit. But the speech that Mr. Kramer gave was great, but I also want to acknowledge that this was due to his leadership and the hard work of our staff, and I think I can say with confidence that everyone on this board appreciates all of that effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Cruz.
And I agree with all of those comments made by Director Chung, and I also wish to thank Director Chung for his outstanding service as our SCAG representative. Those of us who did attend the conference and are familiar over the years with SCAG understand what an important organization that is. You served us well, and look forward to Peggy Wong serving us and continuing the tradition of strong representation for TCA. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board comments? So are there director reports or any new business from the directors? Director Ward, I'm sorry.
I want to know if this comes under new business. The Mobility Working Group meeting was canceled yesterday, so our cities did not have the ability to get info about the next public forum. Would this be a good time? Because I have a couple questions on the public forum. Okay.
Sure. Just, yeah, the meeting was canceled. There's an extreme amount of confusion out there about the public forum and the date, and there was a lot of confusion between the two meetings. So the focus we have now is on the June 5th public forum, and we want to make sure that that information is correct. So with the Mobility Working Group, you know, what we'll do is we'll give them kind of a debrief after the public forum on June 5th and get that group together for that.
Okay, I have a request, though, that at this public forum, that the entire public be addressed as a whole at the same time and not split into groups. I'm not sure how it's going to be done.
Yeah, so I'm not prepared to talk about the format or what's right or what's wrong related to that. We have our team working on that, and that's been moving along, and we're prepared, and obviously those preparations are already well past that point at this point in time for June 5th.
Okay, how would our city put in that request then to you, other than now?
I think there's lots of avenues.
Do you want me to write a letter? Do I direct it to you, to Jennifer Fitzgerald?
I think a letter to me would be appropriate if
Okay.
you have comments like that.
Okay. The second thing that I would like to request is at the last meeting, Mike, you made a statement that TCA could take any roadway if it was designated as a transportation corridor, and I would like you to get back to me on what state law that is, transportation code, whatever. I couldn't catch the number.
Oh, so that would be under our joint powers authorities, so the Joint Powers Act, as well as the county's major thoroughfare and bridge fee ordinance.
Okay, did you quote a number? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chamberlain?
Thank you. Last Wednesday, I participated in a District 12 Workers Memorial at our Batavia Maintenance
Could you
Station.
speak into your microphone, and is it on?
So last Wednesday, I participated in a Workers Memorial at our Batavia Maintenance Station. And the week prior to that, I participated in Caltrans statewide Workers Memorial in Sacramento. And just wanted to call all of your attention to some things that are going on the roads today and some of the things that have happened over the last, since 1921. Caltrans has lost over 187 workers since 1921. If you do the math, that's just shy of 2 workers per year. That's something that I don't think any director would like to have happen under their leadership. And fortunately, since I've been in District 12, we haven't had an incident where we've lost a worker. But we did 20 years ago have a workplace violence incident in our Batavia maintenance station where we did lose 4 members of the District 12 Caltrans family. This past year, statewide, we lost 3 workers in the Caltrans family. One of them in Northern California was also due to workplace violence. And I had mentioned this in a prior board meeting, and I'm just calling your attention to know the signs of workplace violence and try and reach out and communicate and de-escalate and diffuse situations when you see signs of that. I also want to call your attention to the fact that working along the highway and working on local streets and roads is a dangerous job to do. Many of those that lost their lives in the Caltrans family were highway maintenance workers, electricians that are working on the side of the road. That job has not gotten any safer over the years. In fact, the advent of these so-called smartphones have made it a lot more dangerous for workers to be out there. Smartphones are only smart if you're smart when you're using them. Last year in District 12, we had 3 very near misses where we could have lost 3 employees in our Caltrans family, one of which, just barely by miracle, we didn't. That individual was hospitalized. So I'm asking all of you and all of you in the audience to please be aware of that, know that distracted driving is dangerous and it can kill. And just know that highway workers, while they're out there improving the roads, making your lives safer to get from point A to point B, it's dangerous for them to be out there. And I ask for all of your help to avoid distracted driving. Don't do it. Tell others not to do it. And if you're seeing highway maintenance workers, give them room. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
So Director Chamberlain was kind enough to share those thoughts at OCT on Monday, and I've asked Mr. Johnson, our executive officer at OCT, and I'd asked Mr. Kramen if he would be so kind as to get the information for the fund from Director Chamberlain, because they do raise money for the children mostly and widows who are left behind as a result of those deaths, and they have scholarships and things that happen when families find themselves in a situation that their primary breadwinner has been taken from them in a situation like this. So if directors were so inclined and you need this information, it'd be awfully kind if you wanted to make some kind of either personal or you can use campaign for it. It's a 501c3. So anyway, I just share that with you, and if Mr. Kramen send us a notice, then you'll know where to do it at your own, under your own discretion. All right, thank you very much.
So that's a really good point. Thank you, Director Spitzer. The organization is the California Transportation Foundation, of which we've sponsored a number of events for, and in fact on May 24th at the California Transportation Foundation, this agency is being recognized as the Organization of the Year by the California Transportation Foundation. So very timely. Thank you for your comments, and all of the support from this board is appreciated.
Thank you, directors. Mr. Kramen, Mr. Chamberlain. Mr. Joseph, do you want to lead us to the two closed session items?
We do not have a need for closed session today.
Excellent leadership, sir. Then you agendize it. So, I have one quick comment before I close this. While all of us up here appreciate the public's speech rights and that sort of thing, I ask that when you do raise signs in the audience, that you give the same consideration for the people that are sitting behind you so that they can see what's going on as well. Thank you. With that, I adjourn the meeting until the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Directors for San Juan Hills and Foothill Eastern, which will take place on June 8th at 9:30 a.m. San Juan Hills, it's a new team, it's a new road.